Now imagine you've just had 3 patient cancellations this morning. You're going to be feeling pretty down in the dumps about it, and it really disrupts your momentum. Going into the week, it's probably going to hurt your month. Here's how we can build a clinic that doesn't break when this happens. Now, we all know this is a problem. It gets particularly bad around winter time or at the end of the year or any time something else is going on in our patients' diaries. Now, why this is important right now is the economy is struggling. The economy is really struggling, and what that means is people are far more conscious around what they're spending in every aspect. And if they think, all right, well, maybe I can sneak out of not having that next therapy appointment, I can quickly cancel and get out of it, I'm going to do that and save myself a little bit of cash. We need structures that enable us to manage these. And as much as chasing patients for cancellation fees is part of this, I don't really advocate for it. I advocate for building a clinic that is more resilient to cancellations and using your fee structure to account for it. What I'm going to show you is called the Roaring Twenties, and this is a model which works in these highly turbulent times. I'm talking about reducing consultation length. Yes, I am. And this is an important thing to come to because everybody understands this. Everyone understands the finances behind it. 20-minute consults, you can usually charge a little bit more on a dollars per hour basis. So you can get your fee up towards $360 per hour, which is substantial compared to 30-minute consults for $150, for example. Now, the only thing is, it's not that easy to execute on this. And we all know practitioners struggle, especially junior staff, with shorter consultations, and they feel this risk of burnout, etc. This model is not for everybody, but it works especially well for practitioners who've got 2 or 3 years experience, who've done longer consults before and are looking for a method to transition down and protect their diary. What we really want is to build anti-fragile clinics as opposed to fragile models. And the difference is anti-fragile things get stronger, whereas fragile things break. So a really simple example of this is the difference between glass, which breaks when you drop it, and muscle, which when you work it, muscle gets stronger, essentially. So that's what anti-fragile is, and we want to build diaries that are going to be anti-fragile for you. Now, the thing to understand is I'm about to show you something that can significantly change how your clinic responds to volatility, patient cancellations, did not attends, etc. Cool? In the same hour, 1 cancellation or missed appointment for a practitioner who's doing 20-minute consults means they've got a little bit of time to catch up. They might have been running 2-3 minutes over, a little bit of time to catch up and reset their day. They can finish up their notes, they can get a letter done, and usually by the time they've done the little bits of admin, the next patient's arrived, they can probably take them through a little bit early and the day moves along. For the practitioner doing 30-minute consults, the change here is that initial cancellation really guts your diary because you lose a 30-minute block. And often, it gets to 8:08 or whatever it is in the morning and you go, my patient's not here. I'm going to duck across the road and grab a coffee and I'll get on with the rest of my day after this. So we often burn that 30 minutes because there's not enough time to do something big, but there's enough time to waste. The difference in billings between these 2 therapists is pretty obvious, right? You see 2 patients instead of 1, you're going to see $240 billed for that hour compared to $150, minus the cost of your coffee, of course. But here's where it gets interesting, because if we apply this as a chunk to your entire morning, so I like to think in 4-hour blocks, morning 4 hours, afternoon 4 hours, here's what it actually looks like for that person who's doing 20-minute consults. So you get a couple of patients through, you get a cancellation, you catch up, you kick on again, another cancellation or missed appointment. You're a little bit frustrated, then you get a nice clean run of patients, another opportunity to catch up before lunch, and you're pretty good. It's not a great morning, but it's not a disaster. You end up seeing 9 patients out of 12 potential appointments. Look, take it or leave it, right? The alternative is 3 cancellations, meaning you lose 3 out of 8 patients. That's almost half your diary for that morning. And it just becomes stop, start. You never get a clean run at it. And the momentum from one patient to the next is getting lost. Now, momentum for most therapists is actually crucial to delivering high value care. It absolutely was for me as a therapist. I was much, much better when I wasn't having big gaps in my diary. Just getting that nice connected flow working makes you feel better, keeps you on the right cadence, and you get through your morning in a breeze. So now we compare those two bad mornings, and what you actually will see is higher density consultations actually reduce the volatility in your clinic. And that is an anti-fragile model. It means your clinic gets stronger when cancellations happen. It's not ideal when these things go on, but I always advocate for not wasting time trying to charge all your patients their cancellation fees, but instead charge an appropriate rate, accept the fact that there's going to be turbulence, and structure in such a way that accounts for this. I know that's a really advanced way of thinking. Like I said, this is perhaps for more senior practitioners and for your highly, heavily booked out therapists, so they don't lose big chunks of their diary from cancellations and DNAs. Now, if you want to know what this is costing you, like I said earlier, download the custom GPT, which you can put some data into and it'll spit out exactly what, 1, 2 appointments, if they had returned for, would actually bring into your business. The difference here is substantial. I ran this in my workshop, and for a single practitioner, it's between $1,500 and $4,500, which we're potentially losing per month because of this issue. If you want to go a bit further, have a look at the next video. It details some of the work I do and how you can potentially work with me if that's something you're after. Thanks for watching this YouTube. I hope you got some value out of it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.